Last week we were talking about love is not easily angered.
Yes.
And that was really an interesting conversation. It was a very interesting topic. And I'm sure some of it is going to feed into what we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
So we won't dwell so much on what we talked about, but just in a nutshell, we said it's okay to get angry. It's okay. We all can get angry. We all have got that, ability to get angry. But what we were trying to say was that if you are quick to get angry, then it's very easy to make a mistake. When you are angry, it's very easy to say certain things that you are not supposed to say. It's very easy to do certain things that you did not mean to do. But because you snapped in the moment of the anger, you do that. And also the Bible encourages us that you can get angry, but do not sin.
That's right.
And do not allow the sun to go down over your anger. So those are some of the things that we looked at. So it's okay to get angry, but don't camp there. Also, it's okay to get angry, but be slow to get angry. So that's what we dealt with last week. We won't go so much into there. There's a video there for last week, which you can go and look at and see what that is all about. So today we are looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5d. Now 5 has got all these different characteristics or facets of love, or faces of love, so to speak. And we've dealt with each one of them. So 5a has got one, 5b has got another one, 5c has got another one, and 5d is the one that we are looking at today. So 5d says love does not keep a record of wrongs.
That's right. Yeah.
And this is really an exciting and interesting subject.
Yes. And I think it's springing, like you said, it's springing from the anger.
Yeah.
So what happens when you've been angered? Are we carrying some of the wrongs forward? And it's interesting that after what we looked at in the Bible, this was the next one to warn us to say love does not keep records of wrong, because obviously we are saying that we are going to be angry, although we are not going to sin in our anger. And then the outcome is what do we do when we are angry? But then what do we do when we have been angered? Are we going to carry the records of wrong? And the Bible now is saying here, love does not keep a record of wrong. So how does this come? How does this look like in real life?
Yes, I like the way you have presented it. So the offense comes, and then you get angry, and probably something happens. Maybe you forgive the other spouse who has offended you, and then you carry that offense with you. So you keep the record, or you keep the actual event with you. So you carry it with you. And this is what we are saying, that if you are going to claim that you love this person, the spouse, which we all should do, if we have committed ourselves to our spouses, if we are saying that, then the Bible is saying that if you love this person, you should not be able to keep a record of wrong.
Yes.
Now, I know that some people might say, okay, and then begin to play the wrongs. Good evening, Pastor Ngoma. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to have you.
Yes.
Yes. So, we will just quickly talk you through what we have, what we have found out. So normally in marriage, obviously we should know that it's not a mystery, or it's not a revelation. It's not a big revelation. In marriage, you have a husband and you have a wife. So you have a man and you have a woman in there. So you have two people that are married. Now, we'll try and give you a scenario of an offense coming to these two people. And so let's say we've got couple A and we've got couple B.
Yes.
So, are we together so far? Yeah, good, excellent. So we've got couple A and couple B. Now, an offense comes to couple A, and the same offense goes to couple B. Yeah, we're still together there?
Yes.
Excellent. Now, we'll give you a scenario. So couple A responds to this offense in a negative way. So they respond to this in a negative way. Couple B responds to it in a positive way.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are the two different scenarios that we want to present before we proceed. So these are the two couples. Now, the couple that responds negatively. So how do they respond in a negative way? So here is the response from couple A that responds negatively to the offense that's given to them. So here's offense happens, and then let's suppose the husband does something to the wife, and then it's a negative response. So she is offended. She's offended, and she gets really, really angry. So she gets really angry with him. She's annoyed. And she begins to shout, and she begins to scream, and she begins to, and she walks away and she bangs the door.
Yeah.
Because she's in anger. Yeah. Because she's really, really angry. And then after that, a few hours later, then she stops talking to him. Because she's angry. She's angry for what he did. So she doesn't talk to him. She gives him silent treatment.
Yes.
So she doesn't say anything. She's just walking about, and So remember, the response is negative. And then she gets into all kinds of bad moods. And and then the last thing now is that she makes sure that she remembers. She makes sure that she remembers the wrong thing that he did. She keeps it in her mind, and she says, okay, this is what you've done. Remember that. Oh, that reminds me of my daughter.
Yes, yeah.
She likes when she gets into some kind of arguments with the brothers and she's not really pleased. She will just tell them that, remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. And they know when she says, remember that.
Yes.
Trouble is coming.
Yes.
So that's now the spouse. So the wife is offended, and we have described her negative response to the offense. Now here is the husband who has caused the offense. Now he's also responding in a negative way. So this is one couple A that both responds negatively to the offense that comes to them. So here is his response. She asks him, why did you do that? And then he begins to explain and justify himself why he did what he did. So the more he explains and the more he justifies himself, the more she gets angry. Because she thinks he doesn't understand the hate that he's caused her. Yeah. So he should not be explaining. He should be doing something instead of explaining. But he goes on and he explains and says, no, this. And then the next thing that he does. Now remember, it's couple A, and their response to the offense is negative.
Yes.
And then after he explains, he realizes that, she's not paying much attention. And then he just ignores her. He just ignores her and carries on.
Yes.
And he doesn't care what she does. He doesn't care about her reaction. And then he goes about his business like nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So that's scenario A for couple A responding negatively to an offense. Now here is couple B responding positively to the same offense. So the offense comes to the wife, and the husband causes the offense, and then she reacts, or she looks at him a certain way, and quickly, as the person that has offended her, he now acknowledges the wrong that he has done. So he says, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't mean to do that. I'm really sorry. Please, can you forgive me? So that's what he does. So once he does that, he asks for forgiveness. He apologizes and asks for forgiveness. And now the wife that has been offended, she accepts the apology and says, okay, all right, I understand. You didn't mean to do that, but that really hurt me. I accept the apology. Yeah. I forgive you.
Yes.
And then the next thing she does is she forgets about what happened. Like it actually never happened. So she deletes it completely from her mind, and she does not do anything about it and does not mention anything about it.
Yeah.
She moves on. So those are the two scenarios that every day we come up against.
That's right.
As couples.
Yeah. Yes.
We come up against those kinds of things all the time. So we can, so I'm sure someone there might be saying, is it that simple? Is it that simple? Is it really like, you forgive, forget, and move on? Obviously, for the positive couple that responds to it positively. let's find out. Yeah, what do you think?
Is it easy to forgive and forget the offense? We want to welcome our sister Frida. Welcome, thank you.
Welcome.
Our brother
Thank
Kendrick, thank you for coming.
Thank you,
Modi Champo, my girl, welcome.
Lovely to see
thank
you.
you.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it easy to forgive and forget about the offense without keeping a record of it? How easy is it?
Yeah.
Yes or no in the chat, please. It will be grateful.
Yeah.
We will be grateful to hear from you. Yes or no, how easy is it to forgive and forget about the offense? Because love is saying that does not keep a record of wrong.
Yeah.
But how many times have we kept them? Even us, we have kept the records of wrong so many times.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to keep? Yeah.
And so brother, I'm sure. Okay, brother Brian. Yeah, we see you, my brother. Lovely to have you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we've got the two couples, and maybe we can go as far as saying the description that has been given, the description that we have given. Can we identify ourselves in those two different scenarios or the two couples?
I think even us, like if we can identify ourselves here.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of a person who really overlooks. I move on. I overlook most of the times and I move on.
Yeah.
But I think for you, I think one of the things that I know that you hold on to the records, you keep the records, is when I try to talk about something that I'm not happy about, or when you do something, and then I want us to talk about it, and I want us to discuss and understand why have you said this to me, or why have you done this to me. It's just unfortunate that I can't come up with the actual a scenario of what you did or what you said, but we have had wrongs, except like I said, I've been overlooking them, some of them, or I just forget about them. So when I start talking about it, the way I know that you have kept the offenses is that as soon as I start talking, then you start saying, but even you, and that just annoys me, because it just means that you've got a record that you have kept. And I don't even know about it, that I wronged you, but you have kept it. And when I'm talking about my own, then you bring in yours. So that just makes me to know that you've kept that record somewhere.
So then we will fall under it, with that description. Then we fall under couple A. We fall under
both, I suppose.
Yeah. So occasionally we would be under A or B.
Yes.
Let's hear what everyone is saying. Let's hear what everyone is saying.
Yeah. I think we both. Yeah. We okay. Depends on the offense. And Maureen, welcome, Aunt Maureen. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. It depends on the offense. Okay, to overlook it or not to keep a record of wrong. We are talking about keeping a record of wrong here. Yeah, how easy is it to forgive and not keep a record of wrong? So she says it depends on the offense. Okay. We would probably love for you to elaborate which offenses maybe would you keep a record of wrong. I know for sure there is, like, maybe when abuse is there should be a record of wrong. But if we are talking about just generally the challenges that couples face in the day-to-day living, because one thing we know is that conflicts and disagreements and rubbing each other on the wrong side and going off the track is part of the relationship. And this is where we build our relationship, because when you go off track, that's an opportunity for you to forgive me. That's an opportunity for you to overlook, and you are going to bank into the relationship so that it gets stronger. So, but we are saying, when do you then keep a record of wrong? And under maybe just abuse. And
also, so what type of, so let me just quickly read through. We can see here someone saying it's not easy, and someone is saying
it's not easy.
Okay, it's not easy. Okay, lovely. Okay, so it's not easy. So those are the two scenarios. So one might say, well, it's easier said than done, because you don't know the sort of hate that I felt when I was offended. You don't know how I was really hurt. You know, you can say it's easier to forgive, it's easier to forget and move on because you've never experienced the sort of hate that I've experienced. But this is why we are talking about this, because I don't think that there is any small and big offense when it comes to
they could be. There are some offenses that you can easily overlook. There are small offenses, like if I ask you to do something and you say, no, sweetheart, I won't be able to do it because I am tired, I won't be. Obviously, for me, I wanted you to do it. So I feel, of course, that's somehow it's an offense in a way, or I would understand. But there are those offenses where maybe it hinges on the trust of a person and it involves other people. That's a huge offense, which you can now really have to ask God to give you the grace to forgive and to forget about it. Because why are we going to forget, whether small or big? As long as we are remaining in a relationship, we have to decide. Because if we still hold on to it, why do we hold? Maybe the other question is, why would someone want to keep a record of a
That's
wrong?
right. Yeah. So we'll come to that. But in a nutshell, what we are saying is, regardless of the size of the offense, so we do agree, yes, that there are all these varying weights with offenses. So there is a big one, so-called, and then there is a small one where you forget to take the trash when the bin man is out, and so on and so forth. But what we are saying is that whatever the size of the offense, we all must come to a point where we don't keep the record of the wrong.
Yes, I agree with that, because in most cases, again, it's the little foxes that come to destroy the vine. Because as you pile small offenses, then they come to destroy. But they are easy to forgive and forget about. Maybe the small offenses.
But the key thing that the scripture is saying is that love does not keep a record of wrong.
Okay.
So let's quickly find out, for those that might say, oh no, I was really hurt. It really hurt, and I want to keep this. I want to keep this. So let's try and find out. So why would someone want to keep a record of wrong?
And maybe before we go there, let's first of all look at what it means. The words in love does not keep a record of wrong. So just the word literally in English. Keep. To keep. It means to retain possession.
Okay.
To keep is to retain possession.
So this is mine.
Yeah, this is mine.
This is mine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep.
I'm gonna keep it. This is my possession.
Yeah, this is my possession. Yes.
Okay.
So you are keeping, and then a record is a piece of evidence about the past, especially an account kept in writing or some other permanent form. So that is a record. It's a piece of evidence about the past.
So that's a piece of evidence, and I like the way you use the words, because when you talk about the word like evidence, in the courts of law, you can't succeed to prosecute someone without evidence.
That's right.
So you need to have some kind of evidence to show this is it, this is what was done. So there's a record. So here you're saying there's a written record, which is the evidence of something that's been done.
That's right. Or if there is no written record, then we're going to look at how do we then manage to keep the records without writing them.
Well, some people do write. Some people keep diaries or journals, or where they write all these things that are done to them, and then they come back to them every so often as evidence,
which is really not encouraged. But again, maybe that is therapeutic for them just to write, but keeping it as a record to come and use as evidence is where the problem is.
Okay.
And then a wrong is an offense, injury caused to someone.
Okay.
So when we say love does not keep a record of wrongs, then a wrong is an offense caused and an injury. So you are retaining this this written evidence of the past experience, which is a wrong. That is what the Bible is saying. So the offenses
that have been caused, the injuries, the hurt, the pain, and
in
the past, all those things you keep them as your own possession.
Yes.
So why would someone do that?
Yes. Why would we keep a record of wrong? Can we hear from? We also keep a record in our minds. Yes, that's where we are actually coming. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's let's chat. Yeah, my namesake. Welcome. Lovely to have you, Brother Adrian.
Yeah.
And so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's share. Why would someone keep a record?
And where do we keep them? Do we have some people who write?
Yes. So
is them like they have said? Sometimes it's in the mind. It may not be you, but it may be someone.
Or someone you know, someone else, who enjoys. Yeah, who enjoys keeping a record.
Yeah, not anyone on the live show and not us. Let's talk about others who are not here. How do they keep records of wrong? So
it's a lovely way of running away from. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Is there anyone that's going to share with us? Okay. So quickly, we'll, as you share with us why someone would keep a record. So we'll share with you why we think someone would keep a record. I mean, personally, my experience is that if I've been offended and I want to, there are certain times when you get offended and you just want to enjoy the anger. You're annoyed and I'm trying to show her that this is how annoyed I am.
Yes.
So it feels really nice to get, to be angry and to keep the anger and to show it in the face because I am angry.
Yes.
So I think that's one reason that maybe someone might want to.
That's right, and I think in the early years of our marriage, I really did that a lot, where I just want to keep it and I want to show you that I am really, really angry and I'm upset and I've kept it. And I would show it in other ways that I've actually kept that offense.
So you keep the record, and the reason why you want to keep the record, okay, we can see some comments coming in. Keep them coming in, and we'll talk about them. So you have been offended, you're angry, and you know exactly why you have been offended. So you know the actual event that has caused the offense. So you want to keep it so that you can just play it.
Yes.
Because once you stop playing it in your mind, then it's like it's taking away the sting of the anger. So you want to keep the anger. So you keep playing it. And I think I'm not sure. Let me not generalize and get into trouble. But one of the things that I know, this is general.
Yes, it's so fine. Go on.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to keep it afterwards. If it's coming across to me,
No. I'm just making sure that I don't go in the wrong direction. But okay, now this is general. This is generally accepted that women are very good at incubating things. So we won't go into details, but I'll just use that term. So to incubate, and normally they will take something and keep it and meditate on it, like the Bible says in Joshua 1:8, and then they'll keep meditating on it, and they'll keep looking at it from different angles, and how he said it, and his facial expression and everything, and it just hurts, and it's hurting, and you want to keep it. So that's one reason why someone would want to keep a record of wrong.
Okay, yeah.
So the other thing is because it's we said it's evidence, it's a record.
Yeah.
It's evidence. So you want to keep it as ammunition for the next argument.
That's right.
So if we get into another argument, I am just going to throw this at him, or I'll just throw this at her.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't want to forget and let go of it. We want to keep it so that we can come and use it to whip this person the next time we are into any sort of argument.
And that's why Lillian says here, Sister Lillian says, so that you don't forget what the person did.
Yeah.
That's why you're keeping wrong.
So that's why you are keeping it with you, so you don't forget.
You don't forget what the person did.
But the reason why you don't want to forget what they did is so that you can come and give it back to them.
And you see, this is where we come to understand to say, when things happen, we are not going to forget. But I think what the Bible is trying to tell us, according to, now I'm trying to respond back to Sister Lillian, what God is trying to say here, or the Bible is trying to tell us is, when we keep a record of wrong, we are keeping it as evidence to be used against maybe someone. When we forgive and forget, it does not mean that we have forgotten probably. We can remember, so there's a difference between remembering something that has happened and keeping, because keeping it intentionally, I think it involves an intention to say, I'm going to keep this record and I'm going to hold on to it. Like Adrian is saying, you run through your mind and you rehearse it. Most of the time you are rehearsing on it. You are liaising with yourself in and out of it, and that's how you keep it. But remembering, it's different, because you can just remember, oh, he did that, but you move on.
Yeah, you
but
just remember what they said to you, and then you just ignore and overlook and just move on. Right. So so one, you want to enjoy the anger that comes with the record or the event. Secondly, you want to keep it because you want to come and use it as ammunition for the next argument that you're going to have. And then thirdly, you don't want to be taken advantage of. And I think this is big.
Yes.
This is why I think people want to keep these scenes.
Yeah.
Because if you are coming to me every time, you are offending me in little ways, in big ways, and then I've got such a big heart, and I just accommodate you and just forgive and move on and so on and so forth. If I do not understand what I'm doing, I might begin to think that you are taking advantage of me, or I have become just a doormat to walk on, to step on.
Yeah, I think in our early years, probably that's played on us somehow, maybe, where, especially like you are saying, maybe I'm quick to do things and I'm quick to pick things and move on, and it must have played on it where when I brought in something and then you tried to respond by saying, but you also. So maybe we're trying to say, if she comes because she talks faster, she will just come and confuse me in her talk and everything. Then I can also hold on to this so that when she starts talking, I can bring it out as well and diffuse maybe the anger or the frustration and the offense. So probably that.
Okay. So we've looked at why someone would keep a record of wrong, because they're angry and so on and so forth. So now, what would be wrong with keeping a record of wrong?
Yeah.
What would you say would be wrong with keeping a record of wrong? Or you have been offended and then you're angry and you want to keep that.
Yes.
So we are saying that the problem with that situation is that the longer we keep that record, the longer we keep the anger and the record of wrong, we keep, remember the previous discussion we had, we were saying, when you're angry, do not let the sun go down over your anger. So you are angry, but you don't let the sun go down over your anger, or you don't sin.
You may probably not be angry. You may have even cooled off and everything, but what you have just done is you have gone and kept that record of wrong.
Yeah.